Hello, this is John from Passionerdly, a proud part of the Nerds domain and storyteller for the following Tokyo Brain Pop story arc. We recorded these episodes in January of 2018, and the cast featured members of our family: my wife Roxy, her cousin Amanda, Amanda's fiancé David, her son Levi, and her mother Bobbye. It is with heavy heart that we announce that Bobbye has come to the end of her life. She was a strong, loving woman with a heart for service and others, who impacted the lives of everyone who knew her family most of all. She loved podcasts and was excited to be featured on the show. We regret that she will not be able to hear these episodes as intended. However, in her memory, we are releasing them now so her family and friends may be able to enjoy not only the sound of her voice, but her spirit, her creativity, her sense of humor, and her laughter. I'll leave you with one of Bobbye's favorite quotes to live by. Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can, by John Wesley. Thank you, and please enjoy the show.
Holland, Belgium, and Luxembourg.
It's time for Seriously, Let's Play, a Nerds Domain actual play podcast. Each week, we'll be sending you part of a one-shot that covers a game on our list that we keep meaning to play and never find time for. Join Matt, the Thompsons, and John Quiet as they give you a small showing of what each system is like, and tell a story that they've put together themselves.
All right, and thank you, and welcome back to Tokyo Brain Pop. And we are here again with our students who have, if you have listened to previous episodes, you know that they were going to a scholastic decathlon for their school, arrived at the school in the early morning, and found that their teacher and bus driver were missing. Not only that, but they also found their teacher is dead now, inside of the school. So we're going to go ahead and start off based on the further mechanics of this game, and we need to go ahead and decide who the most popular character is based on that last scene. So we're going to go ahead and set up who is, out of what y'all saw, out of what you did, who is the most popular?
I would think that Sakura is probably the least popular because she just charged in.
Well, what type of popularity is it like? Is it like
it's what everyone knows? It's what the people think.
Yeah.
It's what the other players.
This is about what the characters themselves think.
And you have drawn us farther into this potential hellscape.
I'm probably.
Are you tweeting this as we go?
Yes.
Yeah, if she's live streaming, she's on Twitch.
As much as she is my best friend.
Yes, you are definitely lowering
you're the least popular.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for an opportunity
now,
when I can.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
And this is just for this one scene. It can change again.
I was going to say, after taking the swipe of blood and realizing that Sakura is doing this and heading towards the screaming, because seemingly oblivious to what's going on, I am waiting for an opportunity in which I can send a short, brief e-impulse to disrupt the phone is being used.
Well, if we have, we're pretty much in unison that right now that's the least popular character. Who is the most popular? Based on the previous scene and what all was going on, who do you say, even begrudgingly, is the most popular character at the table right this moment?
Probably Mrs. Perfect.
Only because she gave rice balls.
I know. Yeah, that's probably, we're like, oh, she did feed us.
Sakura would be raising her hand.
Grudgingly,
as
she's still the most.
As far as logic and rationale goes, Amiko has been.
I don't know why I'm so popular.
Oh.
Neither do we.
Yeah, we're all.
Okay, well, let's. Bobbye, who do you think your character would be the most popular? Point. Who do you think was the most popular character this last session?
How are we rating popularity here? I mean, is everybody else going to just follow what they do, or are they
what
just
they
going to
like? Yeah.
or what they like about it?
I'm going to ask everybody here who they thought was the most popular person with the most votes. We'll go with.
So, like, who did stuff that would make people
Probably
like them?
Amiko.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rice balls.
Well,
Amiko is
I am
Amiko's
not
Oh,
rice balls.
Miko?
I'm the one that sighs all the time.
Oh, sire, no. What?
Well, she's asking.
So,
He's
for
asking.
May, who would May's favorite character so far be?
Probably her friend.
Okay, so
Keeps
so far
checking
2
on
for Amiko.
Yeah.
And
Except my panda rice balls.
so for Keiko, who is Keiko thinking the most popular?
Keiko, of course.
Clearly.
Okay. So, how about for you?
Knowing my Mayutan, it would be Keiko.
Okay, so we got 2 and 2. Do we have a tie-breaking vote there?
I would say Keiko because
Rice
Sakura loves rice.
Okay,
And
so there we go.
is cute.
So Keiko is the most popular character. That means that your dice goal is now 3 or higher. And Levi, just for the next scene, yours is 5 and higher.
Thanks, guys. I could save us all by like calling 911 or something, and
Pull your phone out, boy.
she just shot like a.
I haven't done it yet,
Oh, okay.
and I may. It's one of those things where Mayutan would want to impulse it,
Yeah.
but also no, Levi, don't do that. Also would wonder if that's our only phone. I can communicate cellularly, but I can't tell anybody that I can do that. So we're at the mercy of the phone. So I am conflicted.
We're all
about
16 and 17-year-old girls, maybe 15-year-old. We probably all have phones.
Probably
Yeah.
so. Okay.
But going from there, Keiko, being the most popular character, your goal is going to be the one that I'm going to try and mess with this next scene.
Well,
So, what is your character goal?
to get a perfect score on the exit exam.
Ah, well, you might not be able to do that if you're not alive.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and have you pull the card for our next location. So go ahead and let's... I always, for this game, I use a location bucket where basically I have various locations written down that scenes will take place in, and we'll be going from there. This keeps you within the, let's say, sandbox of this story, and at the same time challenges me to come up with stuff based on it. So what is going to be the location?
The library.
Called it. Sorry, you pointed to her, you laughed silently, and I was like,
All right. So
No cross.
you all hear that screaming, that
Just
yelling.
Leave it out.
And you take off running at this point. There's a lack of rational thought for the majority of you as basically something is severely wrong. And you take off through the school in this montage-like scene, finding the first room you can, flinging it open. It's dark inside. And you slam the door shut. You hear ever so often the sounds of screams and running and deep breathing and laughs.
Oh, so everybody hears the laughter. now?
Everybody's hearing it now beyond the door of this room. There's darkness beyond.
Are there windows in this door like a lot of library doors have in schools?
There probably are windows, but the blinds are closed.
Okay.
So
May smells books.
yes,
Amiko
she
goes, are we
does.
going to block this door? Somebody give me some chairs to put in front of this door.
Okay.
I will. I could carry 2 or 3, but I carry 1.
Okay.
And
So you
Amiko
begin to
goes,
barricade the
"Could you
door as a
please
group?
Help me here, Miss Perfect. Come
Keiko
on,
is
Keiko's
already,
on.
Keiko
Come
is
on,
already
Keiko's
looking
on.
around the room to see what else is in there, to see what they have at their disposal.
And Amiko goes, look,
Sakura.
Yeah. I was thinking of something a little more sarcastic, but we won't be doing that because stress does bring sarcasm out in my character.
Okay.
Are you like 911ing something here?
No. Sakura's actually hiding somewhere because she's terrified.
All right. Find my phone and start 911.
Sakura-chan, where did you go?
All right. So
Did you have? Sorry, just 1 second. Do you have location tagging turned on your photos? Because if you have location tagging on and you post a picture of a dead body and you have the location, then it would if somebody saw it, it could notify police or so. Do you have location tagging turned on your phone, or is that something you turn off?
I would say no.
Do you know what I mean by location tagging?
I know what I mean.
okay.
No, I don't. Because
Okay, that was just...
But let's go ahead. There are going to be a couple tests based upon this, I'm sensing. First and foremost, you're looking for someplace to hide. Let's go with that. So go ahead and roll your d6. Do you have anything that would apply to this? Any details that might work?
I could use my phone to see what is a good place to hide in like a game of hide and seek in the library or something.
Well, what are your details?
Internet geek knows what to look up whenever needed.
Okay, that would definitely apply. So that puts you back at a 4 or higher, essentially. So go ahead and roll your d6.
5.
There we go. Basically, it's saying, in a library, you could always hide on, shelves that have no books in it, or you could hide under one of the computer desks, because usually they have a backing on them so people can't see, up skirts or things like that. I mean, it's a desk.
Modesty panel.
Yeah, modesty panel. Thank you so much.
I like the desk idea.
Okay, so you go and you hide under the desk. Would your best friend like to add anything to that? Who's your best friend?
Mayutan, sorry, sees, I'm describing his.
Basically, you're giving the opportunity for something special with Sakura's test, the outcome of it.
She successfully hides under one of the desks and pulls a chair in tight, and maybe another one behind next to it, and if nobody else saw her go under there, they probably don't know that she's there.
Okay, and I'm going to say, also to help with that situation, you also turn down the brightness on your phone.
Yes. I was just... I truly was with you.
And if she's live tweeting, Mayutan knows that.
Okay.
Because she can see the signals.
Okay.
I am.
So that was the first test that I definitely think goes. And then, Keiko, you were, while everyone's trying to barricade, you were actually looking around, trying to see what else might be there.
Yes.
So let's go
Keiko
ahead
was
and...
looking for a mirror.
No. And since I was class president, I know exactly what to do in these type of situations. Looking for useful items.
You have the key to the emergency canister underneath the librarian's desk.
Okay.
Probably has a key
The crisis
for these
kit.
sort of things, and it just happens to work in this school too.
I need my student council vice president, so I can have the other key so we can unlock the emergency kit. It's like a 2-key lock.
Okay, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and roll.
So that's
You
+1.
are the most popular, so you're at a 3. And then, since you said you understand these things because you're the class president, go ahead and you actually have to roll a 2 or higher at this point.
5.
5 would have been funny if it was 1.
Critical fail.
Okay. So while they're barricading the doors, you actually manage to lock it. And does your friend want to add anything to that with the locking of that door?
I will say that it successfully locks, and it might have bumped something in the way, so where it can't be. Okay, that'd be kind of bad.
So anything else along with locking up the door or anything?
I would say that when she puts the key in, when she locks it, she actually, in panic or something, she locks the door and bumps something in the lock. When she pulls her keys out, the lock cannot be unlocked anymore because they.
Okay.
I think that's better.
That is now stuck.
No.
No. He's saying that there was a safety latch.
Like a bar that went in the
got you.
door
Okay.
to keep it from
Okay.
opening.
Okay, so,
Just
Amiko, now that we have successfully barred the door, we need to look around in the dark. Are there other doors?
Oh, look at this, Nico.
Okay. As you begin to look around the library, it is very dark in here. So, what are you going to be doing?
Well, in all honesty, I'm quite sure the blinds don't block out the light completely, so are we seeing any traces of light anywhere else?
There is actually some light at the back of the room.
Sakura climbs out of her hiding spot like, okay. She comes up saying it's like very dark, and she turns on her phone flashlight.
Great.
So, y'all are making your way towards that back door?
Sakura's curious, so she goes.
So you came out from under the table?
Yes.
Okay.
Do we act as a group?
That is the question here. Is anyone else going to
Sakura-chan,
follow?
there you are.
She was just there.
Oh, look, you found the back door.
Wow.
We don't know if it's a back door. We just know it's light, guys.
Well, he would,
Is it-
or she would know.
is it
Keiko would
completely
know,
dark
'cause
in
it's
the
class
room?
president.
Oh, that's
It is
true.
very
Keiko
dark in the room.
Okay. So May can't read any of the books.
None of her
Not
books?
currently.
Okay.
You have a flashlight on your
Yeah, but she doesn't know what to look for.
phone. Okay.
As you're walking through the library, try and be very quiet. Beyond the halls, the screaming has died down a little bit. You don't hear it quite so much anymore.
Do we still hear the laughter?
Not so much, but the first thing that you hear is more of a...
Somebody shuffling cards.
That's what it kind of sounds like.
Sakura steps back with all the other groups and kind of like shrouds herself.
It seems to be coming from somewhere within the library.
Yep,
Would,
I definitely hide myself.
Would May have read about any of this in her old books? Is this the kind of thing that would have been in those old dusty books?
Go ahead and give me a test on that.
Would I
So,
have to roll about?
you would be rolling... so
Or a
you're
4?
you're not currently the most popular or least
Okay.
popular, so you start at a 4. But the thing is, you do have a detail that kind of matches up with this, I believe. You have one that's for libraries or something like that?
She spends all of her time in the library memorizing the books.
Okay, so go ahead and make a roll with a +1.
That's one.
Okay.
2.
Based on that situation, who is your rival?
Me. No, me.
Oh.
I'm the rival. Or do you want to do the Gonzo bucket and try to reroll?
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, so pulling from the Gonzo bucket.
That scares me a little bit.
It is.
The last one worked out really
I
well.
know.
for what we were
I
doing.
know.
Scream heard beyond.
Okay.
Like a scream from the beyond?
I don't know, it just says scream heard beyond.
Or it's beyond the door.
All right. You're kind of trying to focus a bit, and you're like, have I ever heard of anything like this before? There must be something in my books, and as you're trying to focus, you hear a scream, almost like directly outside the library. Everybody freezes in place and pauses. You catch your breath in your throat. You don't hear anything more. So you exhale, and you try and focus again. So go ahead and roll again.
It'd be a 3.
Okay, so that's a 3 total, so it's a 2 with a 3?
2 plus 1?
Yeah, 2 plus 1.
2 plus 1 is a 3, so no.
Yeah.
You are too shaken to really know what it was. And does the rival wish to add anything to that? So Roxy, you'd be the one.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'd probably just go past this one.
Okay.
Because, I mean, that's probably the worst case scenario for a character like May. That I can't focus enough to remember these things that I have worked very hard to remember.
Very true.
A little question: was the voice or was the scream like a male or female?
It was a female voice.
Can we still hear the card shuffling?
Ever so
Or
often.
did they stop when the scream? Okay.
It probably stopped briefly. And you probably heard maybe a little bit of a whispered chuckle.
Now, did you say that was coming from in the library or from the other side of the door?
He thought it was coming from in the library. The scream was outside. The shuffling was inside.
Mm-hmm.
How big is this library?
It's pretty big. I mean, imagine your whatever kind of school library you had growing up in high school. I mean, it's not a small library by a stretch.
As we're
what?
as Sakura's going along with the group, kind of hiding.
We're stopped right now.
Oh, stopped. Okay, she kind of shines her flashlight around, just to make sure nothing's wrong.
Mayutan is going to once again try to search for heat signatures within like 50 yards, a 50-yard radius.
Let's see what happens.
See the tray. That is a 4.
Okay, so you are successful based on the situation. So, indeed, there is a heat signature in the room. There is a figure hunched, doing something on the floor in the corner of the library between two bookshelves. Your best friend can augment this if they so wish, adding something to it.
So she notices the heat signature, and it registers an outline that comes up in her internal database and tells her what it is she is sensing.
That's nice.
You see what appears to be a teen student, male, from the school. And so, yeah, probably comparable age to everyone in this group.
Okay.
Could Sakura?
Go ahead.
Could Sakura, like, she also hears the shuffling slightly, and could she kind of track the noise with her flashlight, just kind of track it down.
So you're basically going to shine your flashlight in that area?
Are you stepping out of the group?
Yes, slightly,
Okay.
so I can just.
So based on what everyone else is seeing, I mean, so basically everybody has heard this shuffling. You also heard the scream through somebody. She's obviously shocked. Probably, if there was more light, you would see that she's very pale. Possibly because of the scream, possibly because of just a betrayal of internal character that her memory failed her. And
May, we have discussed this internal angst.
and you hear a chuckle in the library, and you see Sakura begin to slowly shift her phone towards where the sound seems to be coming from.
I need to
Is
ask
anybody doing anything else? Yeah.
a question. Was it that my eyes glowed at night or in the dark?
It was at night.
How did you have it written?
I wrote. Oh, okay. I wrote night. I apologize.
Okay, no
I'm
problem.
so sorry. It's daytime. Okay.
Yeah.
Couldn't read it.
All right. So, I will say that if you wish to try and make your eyes glow, this is up to you. You could try and go for a test of some sort on that.
And let's look at this logically. I want to draw attention to myself.
Okay.
Well, you could also die.
I could also die.
I mean,
I'm not
And if you
necessarily.
fail, I get to
But it
decide.
is a dangerous situation, and we're in the dark, so.
And
it
but
makes sense.
because they glow, does it make me see better at night? Does it?
Depends on
Does
how
it?
you.
I would think yes,
How
it
you
does.
can describe how you describe the story. This is a story we're all
Cat's
participating
eyes
in.
glowing in the dark.
Okay. Now you
letting more
realize
light in.
along with this comes fangs and other ugly things, don't you?
Are you?
And I am the one that keeps looking over her shoulder.
Mayutan, if she sees her eyes glow and the fangs, are they also hiding a true identity?
We all have secrets, my Dan. We all have secrets.
Do I have
Are
a
we
kindred
ready?
spirit?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see how this
kind of,
goes.
speak my
Okay.
monologue.
I rolled a 3.
Okay, 3, and I'm going to say that your basically your detail will add to that 1, so you will pass.
So they're glowing.
Your eyes are now glowing. There is also, because the way this game works, this is a subtle, almost supernatural thing. And everybody else, something seems odd. And there seems to even be possibly briefly a breeze in the library. That doesn't make sense.
It's only to make her hair blow gracefully and pretty. I mean,
She probably has like a
she has an
fan.
internal breeze about her.
It's
Oh,
one of-
Maka-san, your eyes are so pretty.
It's actually a release valve because I get pressure buildup in my back joints and something it's like a little.
Oh, okay. So along with, I would think that being able to glow in the dark and that would make me more of a creature of night occasionally, and on maybe not necessarily on call, but if circumstances are correct, I should be able to see better.
Let's go with that based on
Okay.
a test.
So he is squatted down. This person is squatted down. Is he like throwing cards? Is he like dealing
That's
a
what
deck?
it sounds like
Well, no,
to your
that's what
ears.
it sounds like. But I'm seeing him.
You're also seeing him begin to stand up. Something has caught his attention, perhaps.
Eyeballs glowing in the dark.
What about my flashlight?
Can you? So you can
Do I
see him?
I can see him.
Does-
He's standing up.
Does his heat signature look like he's taking notice of like? Did I
Oh,
see him
yes.
take notice?
He's
of
beginning to
Amiko?
stand up, and he's slowly turning around. You hear that breathing coming from him. A little bit of a chuckle. And
Okay, now, as a backstory,
Mhm.
the ghost of my mother follows me everywhere.
Okay.
I am an only well-loved child. Now, I would think that Mom would have a little concern about some other paranormal creature coming after her sort of kind of paranormal daughter. And
That
she
makes
might
sense,
possibly
in a
put
kind of,
herself
sort
in
of way.
between us to kind of like protect me. And my
Okay.
best bud.
Let's see how that goes. Then. Let's go ahead and see how that goes. So +1 to your roll.
Okay. 5.
5. You succeed. So as he begins to
+1 would
turn,
make it 6.
but as he begins to turn towards you, you see, no one else does, the figure of your mother appear in front of him, a very stern look on her face. And she just reaches out her hands. It doesn't even make contact with him, but reaches out her arms, and her hands go flat, as if she's bracing or trying to push something. Doesn't collide with him, but it's as if an invisible force rockets from her, slamming into him, throwing him up against the wall, where he collides, and then you hear a crack, and he falls to the ground.
I love my mother.
What was that?
Can I see the spirit energy?
No, you didn't.
No. Okay.
Sakura's kind of really scared, and she looks at, or could this be like a test? And she looks up on her phone, like, what demons have association with cards or something?
Well, let's see where the story goes, because all you saw was this guy. You probably wouldn't even have seen him fly into the wall,
Well, yeah, but
and you also did not see
Yeah.
the spirit. Only she did.
but like if I heard the cards, Sakura would be a little curious. About
Well, it could just
Okay.
be a person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not sure what you've heard yet. Just let's
Yeah.
wait and see. Okay?
but with everything else.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
but could have been to you. It could have been that he suddenly ran headlong into the wall, and crashed in the dark. It's really hard to say at this point, but this is where everybody had. All our actions led to this point where you're all aware that somebody just ran really fast or some sort of movement happened, and now there is no longer any movement or sound from over there except from your group.
Well, I have a correlation to make that like our teacher had like little paper cuts all over her, and this guy seems to have association with cards. So
Do you say that?
sure, I'll say that.
I was going to say, are you
Because
vocalizing this? Because
apparently
you
this
vocalize
one has
everything.
No inner monologue.
Yes, this
That is true.
character's-
This character, it's already been established that this character constantly just rattles off things, and we're just like,
Oh my god.
how did you even hide under that desk? We can hear you talking.
I was typing
And you
online.
and so
I can't believe I found such a great hiding
Sakura,
spot.
you are basically drawing a conclusion that the fact that the leg, the teacher was sliced up with little tiny cuts, like somebody threw cards at her and they cut her.
Yeah.
You're a smart little kid, even though I don't like you.
Yeah.
I can say that to my nemesis.
How could you not like Sakura-chan?
Now it's just
So-
time.
Suffers from the same problem I do.
I'm guessing as a group you all begin to approach this area.
I think we should probably. I would quietly be walking behind Mom.
Sakura starts a video
I would
cam,
follow her.
or starts like video and put it in her pocket so like noises can be heard, but like lights and stuff cannot be shown.
Okay. You begin to approach this area, and you come across where he had been squatting, and it's between two bookcases. And as you round the corner, yes, there are cards on the ground.
Sakura decides to pick one up.
I am going to ask you, Sakura, is there blood on those cards?
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 Did anyone see if there was blood on those cards?
You pick up the cards. There is no blood on it. But as you pick it up, there is a picture.
Okay.
And it is a picture of a young woman with rating. It says 3/4. And it begins to describe this young woman in terms of things she likes. Let's go with Aya. Enjoys going to the mall and hanging out with friends. She is known for being very good in swim class and is studious in her studies. You're looking at this picture in your eye. This is Keiko?
Keiko's
Or, no, sorry,
looking
not
at the
Keiko,
picture.
Mayutan. You're looking at the picture and your eyes are scanning it, and in your mind you're like, this is one of the students at this school.
Oh.
I match it up with a roster.
Can I ask a question? Which school? The school we're in?
The
or
school
the
that
we
you're
came
in
from?
for Watanabe High School.
Okay.
Could I see if like I've met this person online, if I talked to her like in a test or something? Like to see if I
Chat room.
chat room, yeah.
Off the top of your head, not really.
Okay.
I really hate to admit it, but that was a very good call. You might have some purpose.
Can May roll again to see if she has read anything about this? Has
Absolutely.
She
Go
gathered
ahead.
her wits enough.
Yeah.
Got your act together, girl.
Yeah.
Good
So-
girl.
Do I still add a 1?
Certainly.
Okay.
As you're looking the card over while she's making this roll, you're looking at, and flipping it over. On the back of it, it gives a name, and it's almost like in a graphic logo, like you would expect from a card game or a video game, and it's this very explosive kind of logo that says Bulma Blast Prime.
I was gonna say, do these look like Force of Will cards, but they're students of the school and not?
To some extent, these look like a collectible card game.
I want to look
6.
up.
6, okay.
6 before the 1 or 6 after the 1?
After the 1.
Oh, okay. I was just like, wow, cool.
Throughout history, there has been legends of strips of paper inscribed in certain ways can control, even attack spirits. Right through history in your mind, you're like, oh yeah, why didn't I think of this before? Yeah. I've heard of people like exercising with paper. I've heard of people, summoning with paper. I've heard, and there are always these little cards and these little strips. Could this be something like that?
You immediately remember the Chronicles of Amber and their little photo cards.
Yes.
And so the question would be, does anybody have a book of matches?
I do have an internal flamethrowing.
Do either of us smoke?
No. Though, could I search through the cards, see if there's any cards of me or anyone else?
Certainly. But, so, this is where we're at now.
Yeah,
Who's
she
gonna-
asked for the matches first.
Yeah,
so.
who's going with matches?
Nobody has matches.
I don't have
Does
matches,
Miss
but I
Perfect
do.
smoke?
Of course not.
I do have a flame in one finger.
Oh.
How dark is it in the room? Is it dark in the room?
Nobody has turned on the lights yet. There's light streaming in from the blinds, and there's a little bit of light coming from the back door, or from the door at the back of the room.
do.
Okay.
And so you're going to try...
I only trust
what
myself. I can't let anyone else use these matches.
That's fine. What I am going to do now is ask my friend here, who is incredibly knowledgeable about all of these things from the old dusty books that she carts around in her backpack.
Mm-hmm.
Should we destroy these?
Would I know? I would know.
Let's go ahead and say that
Because you have occult knowledge too.
if
I just memorize all the old books that I can find.
Okay.
if you burn the
We don't have
cards,
any salt.
it would release the spirits that they control. Whether that's good or bad is hard to say.
Oh, okay. That's what you would say to me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. But she needs to
I
tell me what she
agree
thinks.
with what Sakura said earlier, that we need to see if we're in these cards.
So do we...
Before we burn them.
Yes, before
we
you burn
I'm
anything.
not
Let's-
so rash. Amiko was not so rash that she would go just burn them right now. It was like, do we have the ability to destroy these if we need to? Because we've already found out we could have the ability to hide.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
While they're looking at the cards, Keiko looks over at the guy who is he like on the floor now, or
He seems to be unconscious.
she runs over and kicks him in the head.
Wow.
All right, we'll get back to that because
But
we
your
got
hair is still
several.
perfect, right?
We have
Wearing Mary Janes when you
several
do.
tests that are going along with this because
You wake him up, you're gone.
let's start off with you are looking through the cards to see if anyone else is in there.
Okay.
And I'm going to say there's not really a test necessary for this unless your rival says there is.
Is there?
At this stage of the game, I don't think...
Levi's rival is Amanda.
Oh, is there?
No. Because
Oh,
He's
that's
your
right.
rival.
He's my rival.
It's very confusing.
I want to find out too, so I'm going to say
Oh,
no.
I'm kind of
Okay.
wanting to-
So, essentially, you are looking through and you don't see any pictures or any cards for anyone here or anyone from your school, but there is, of course, an advertisement card that says new sets coming out, and it lists several names, and you recognize those names as different schools, and yours is listed.
Do I see these cards?
Yes.
Like close up? Like, do I see the advertisement card?
Yes.
Does she see the
Is
issue
there
date
is
of the
there
cards
is there a
that she's...
QR code on it, or does it have a company name that I can look up? You know, I can
In her
say,
extensive
You
database,
made a face
or
at me.
are there dates? Is there a date on this pack to date that pack, which would tell her if these others have had time to come out?
There is it was a logo and a name for the business who has where this came out, and it says Sao Tome Publishing.
Sao Tome.
Yes.
I look up Bulma Blast Prime, which apparently was the title or was the name. Of
Yeah,
this.
I'm also looking them up in my.
Okay.
In my
I also
database.
posted on Instagram or something about how I'm in a creepy school with some creepy demon card guy.
Okay, girl, focus. Look it
Fine.
up.
Okay, I quickly finished typing post. Look it up.
Okay, now I'm thanking my mom for being a good mom. And Amiko would like to go over and check out the dude on the floor, too.
Okay. So you need to kick ahead.
Yeah. And augmenting that, she probably, instead of kicking him, would grab a book and slam it on him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
You particular?
You could
Thought
also
you had
say
your
something
own.
like, you made me perspire or something.
You make me sweat.
You made me sweat.
5.
I swallowed a bug.
What was your goal with kicking? Let's start there. Or with hitting him. What were you trying to do?
To make sure that he was knocked out.
To inflict
Okay.
pain.
So essentially, I'm saying, simply, yeah, he's not getting up anytime soon. On top of that, would your best friend like to augment that in some way, shape, or form?
Was that me? Okay.
Yes, that is you.
I would say that if this dude was possessed by any demon, that book would have landed so hard to knock the demon right out.
Oh, great. You said it free.
and
Thanks, Keiko.
the demon would be terrified and run off to whatever hole he can.
You can't solve the mystery this way, Levi.
Well, I will say this, based on what he's said, is that the book slams down and there is a rush of wind in the room. Stronger than the one that was before. I mean, books fall off the shelves.
So we're talking like Ghostbusters kind of activity
Yes. Absolutely. Let's go with that.
here. Okay.
All the Dewey Decimal cards.
Well, that
So-
doesn't seem to be very well, Keiko.
Yeah, and we had somebody looking up, 2 people that were interested in information
Yeah,
on...
I was
Yes.
doing a behind the eyes scan of the company name.
All right. And I'm going to say you're making that test since you were, we've already
He was
dealt with
tweeting
you.
or
Yeah.
whatever. As a 4.
All right. So you are successful and you find the equivalent of a Reddit post of people saying, have you heard about this new collectible card game coming out? This Bulma Blast Prime. It's basically hidden in the, like in the back of the equivalent of, Reddit and 4chan's. They're saying that's going to actually star real people as the listed cards.
What's it called?
Bulma Blast Prime.
Bulma Blast Prime is people.
And so
My character might actually say that.
She might actually say that.
And I would laugh along and say, ha 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 ha.
Do you even know what the reference is to?
Soylent Green.
Thank you, Geek Girl. You're growing a little bit more in my esteem.
you hear, though, as y'all are dealing with this situation, you hear... You look over and you see at one of the windows there's an outline of somebody standing there. Slam!
Oh, great.
From another window, there is an outline somewhere else on the other side of the library. Slam! You hear from the library door. Slam! You hear again. And it's like slowly more and more bodies are rushing up to the room that you're in. And you see silhouette after silhouette after silhouette now beyond the blinds as these figures are congregating. And you hear almost a collective group.
So were they
We are still in the
clawing out
dark.
the windows like zombies?
It's kind of
There
similar
Is
to
it
that.
fogging the glass on the windows?
No.
Okay, having been in a high school library before, and as I'm sure my character has, I'm going to ask the question, is there enough light to see if there's a fire extinguisher anywhere in this room?
Huh?
Let's go ahead and say that you're looking around for a fire extinguisher then.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and roll for that.
And remember, I glow in the dark.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, so...
and I got fangs, too.
you know,
so.
I will let your detail based on how things are going are going to add a +1 to that. So let's see if you
Okay.
can find a fire extinguisher.
Also,
Hey, we're not finding a fire extinguisher. I got one.
Okay.
I want to look.
So, hold on, I have to...
hazard.
So, you don't find a fire extinguisher, and as you're looking around, a window nearby where you are breaks under pressure of another slam. And hands begin to reach through the blinds, seeking you out.
Okay, well, since I can see them, can you please describe these hands?
They are the grasping hands of a teenage boy.
Well, I mean, are they
Wow.
pale? Are they blood-filled? Do they look alive? Do they look Walking Dead?
They look fairly alive, to be honest.
Are they covered with little cuts?
Are they
Yes, and that was
bleeding?
my
No.
next question was no cuts. Okay.
No cuts.
Okay.
No blood anywhere else?
No.
Is
Even
there an
busting through
office?
glass?
Okay, so as in
Go
the
with
other-
the story, people. Go with the story.
Mayutan is very disappointed
Oh, I'm so sorry.
that they're not bleeding.
Is there an office? There's usually a librarian's office.
There is another door that was at the back of the room where you saw light streaming in from under the door. That has been there since the beginning of the
Okay,
scenes.
well-
Right. Now, we were actually headed that way.
May is headed that way,
Well,
but she's
Okay.
we're taking the cards with us.
But there was a failed roll from that
For the fire extinguisher.
for the fire extinguisher. So your rival, gets to decide, does something else bad happen from that?
Let's say that,
How much worse could it be?
okay, it could be worse that even in the dark, you trip over something and fall.
Okay, so
Okay.
essentially
How-
you're on the
that
ground.
would be.
I don't know.
I hate to say this. I'm gonna contest a piece of this. Since I see so well in the dark,
I've
I mean,
got
I
an idea.
saw
You
him
might
as
have
a
been
figure.
over-focused.
Okay, over-focused. Okay.
And I don't
All
want
right.
to make it too bad because we're in
You
a
were
desperate
focusing
situation.
on the
We
window.
are in a desperate situation.
But to go with this scene, and because we are going to go ahead and move on, you all begin to clamor out of the library. And the last two of you to make it out of the room, you're going to probably be the
I
last.
probably will be. I fell.
But you see figures begin to congregate over towards that window and start coming through the blinds. And you see these teen boys just with an almost gleeful look on their face. And they're piling through that window, coming through those blinds, standing up and looking y'all's way and saying,
Oh, God.
and begin to throw cards your direction.
I will grab Amiko as we're congregating. I will pick her up and because teen boys are gross.
You're my new best buddy.
Expansion packs.
Because teen girls are
Do you
unfaithful.
wanna?
And we're going to go ahead and say that you clamber through the door of the office and make your escape for the moment
And that is into a lighted room.
into a lighted room. And we're going to go ahead and pause it here. And when we return, we'll go ahead and see where the
See
story
what
goes from
happens.
there.
And I appreciate
Thank y'all so much.
See you guys.
And that will do it for us tonight on Seriously, Let's Play. Remember, you can email us at nerdsdomain@gmail.com, find us at facebook.com/nerdsdomain, and twitter.com/nerdsdomain. We have all of our podcasts over at nerdsdom.com, so don't forget to check those out, and sign up for our newsletter while you're there. You can head over to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating, and don't forget you can always support us at patreon.com/nerdsdomain, and check out our t-shirts at teepublic.com.